Welcome to the Civil War Guru Show. My name is stevemnsn, and I am the Civil War Guru. And today, in front of me, we are going to continue our Unsung Hero series. And what I have in front of me is a presentation sword presented to Thomas McClure, Volunteer Cavalry. This is a magnificent sword. It has a presentation between the two mounts. Now I'm going to do this show here kind of casually because I got all his records in front of me here. And this is what people want. They want the provenance. They want to know all the history, what the company did, what he did, and if he survived the war, if he was wounded, any pension records. And that's what we have here. And all these can be obtained at the National Archives. Now this guy was 37 years old and he enlisted in Cincinnati, Ohio in July of 1861. He was 5'11", he had black hair, blue eyes. A lot of people like to know that. Well, in these records, they tell you that. And I'm going to give you a little history of the 4th Ohio Cavalry and all the battles they fought in. But we were talking about pensions. In the Battle of Murfreesboro, that's aka Stones River, in December 62 and January 63, he was wounded. He was shot in the arm right below the elbow. And he did not lose his arm, but he was shot by a pistol, and he survived that. Then I have in his records, when he was in Alabama in 1864, he was in a skirmish down there and got shot right below the thigh here, and that kind of put him out of commission, and he stayed in the hospital pretty much most of the end of the war, and he contracted different diseases, malaria, not malaria, but dysentery. And anyway, he survived, and he actually went in as a private and came out as a lieutenant. This particular sword here is presented to him as a lieutenant. This sword here, he attained the rank of lieutenant in 1864, and that's when he presented the sword. But this guy was in all the battles of the 4th Ohio, and the 4th Ohio was a very colorful cavalry organization. And I'm just going to read you some of the places that they were, and you'll see, again, in documents that you can get from the National Archives. But their regiment, just to show you different places these guys were, they were in Bowling Green, Kentucky. That's where, of course, we're here in Kentucky. Nashville, Huntsville, Alabama, that's where he was wounded the second time. He was in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Lebanon, Tennessee, Bradyville, Tennessee, Chickamauga. He was there at Chickamauga. Decatur, Alabama, Cleveland, Tennessee, Jonesboro. He was there at the Wilson Raid in Alabama. And these guys were a colorful group. And this guy survived the war, and again, as an unsung hero, he returned as a farmer. And of course, he married and had some children. And then in the late 1880s, from his wounds, he couldn't hardly work anymore and be a farmer. So he applied for a pension there, and when he died, his wife received the pension. But again, one of the most colorful organizations, the 4th Ohio Cavalry. And this sword's a magnificent imported sword. It's got a claw burr blade in it. It has a nickel scabbard and great embellished mounts on it. You know, they got the laurel leaves on it. A brass handle, which is embellished also. But my grandson Brendan Coles, he's going to get up here and get y'all some close-ups of it. But again, you know, for all you guys in Ohio, collect Ohio stuff, this is one of the famous groups. 4th Ohio, Lieutenant Thomas McClure. Value on a thing like this, these particular swords with great inscriptions on them, they'll bring $6,500 to $7,500 as far as value. So from the Civil War Guru, have a great day.